Good afternoon, Patrice. Thank you so much for joining me today to share a little bit about the book that you wrote, Becoming Ginger Rogers, that we put in our fall ballroom box. Thank you. I hope that you're having a good afternoon. Yes?
Yes, I am. And we're all busy and racing towards year end. So it's kind of a breathless, run to the finish.
Yes, especially here at the holidays when it's super busy trying
Yeah.
to do all of the things. And I would love for you to just take a minute and tell me a little bit about your book, Becoming Ginger Rogers.
Sure. Thank you, Duffy. I was really delighted that you included it in your September box. That was a lot of fun seeing the book in all of the other goodies that you offered. But I wrote the book after I'd been taking ballroom dancing for, 6-7 years. And I realized that, in living my life purpose, which is to choose joy, to be mindful of joy, and to share joy with others, I chose the joy of dance, learning how to ballroom dance. And I was very mindful of all the joy that I was experiencing. And I realized I'm not so sure that I'm actually sharing that joy. Yeah, so I decided to write the book to share some of the lessons I learned from ballroom dancing, and as a way to actively live my life purpose, to choose joy, be mindful of it, and share it with others. And so the book is entitled Becoming Ginger Rogers, because that was my childhood dream, to dance like Ginger Rogers. And that's why many years later, I took up ballroom dancing and learned how to dance like Ginger Rogers. The subtitle of the book is How Ballroom Dancing Made Me a Happier Woman, a Better Partner, and a Smarter CEO. And surprisingly, it did all of those things for me. And I think it's because I embarked on something that I knew would bring me joy, and actually, engaged in it pretty full out and fearlessly. And lo and behold, all of these things that, were so exciting and fulfilling and joyful to me happened as a result of just taking my first ballroom dance lesson and getting hooked, and then, getting into the whole competing in ballroom competitions, and sometimes winning championships, and, then deciding other people, should discover the joy of ballroom dancing.
Yes.
And that the book hopefully has inspired other people to take up ballroom dancing, or to take up anything that they've always wanted to do and just never got around to doing it for whatever reason.
Right. What really triggered or started you into ballroom dancing? What made you decide to start that journey?
Yeah, well, I wanted to dance like Ginger Rogers since I was like 8 years old, watching those old black and white movies with her and Fred Astaire. But, until I was 50 years old and sitting in the office of an executive coach, who I came to because I was so depressed I could barely get out of bed because of a whole lot of things, including it was 5 months after 9/11, and like most of us living in New York, we were still reeling from the shock and horror of that day. And my coach, Suzanne, actually told me that she could help me, but first I needed to rethink my purpose in life. And, that was the last thing I thought she was going to say to me, but she was insistent. So over the next 2 weeks, I went back home and really thought about what my life purpose would be. And I came back to her 2 weeks later and said, I know what my purpose is. And I think that if I can live my life this way every day, I could be good to go, even if I were one of those people caught short on 9/11
Mm.
in the Twin Towers. And I told her that my purpose in life is simply to choose joy in my life every day, to be mindful of that joy and to share that joy with others. And so when we started talking about it and she asked me, what brings you joy? I said, without even thinking, I blurted out dancing. And I had totally forgotten about my dream as an 8-year-old until that conversation.
I love it.
Of course, we started talking about it when she learned that I had not even taken a dance lesson in the 42 years since then. My homework assignment was that I had to book myself a dance lesson before our next coaching session 2 weeks later. And so I did actually. A
Yeah.
half an hour before my next coaching session, I'm on the phone trying to book myself a lesson, because you know how it is. Life is like triage when you have so many competing
Yes.
needs and demands and deadlines, and usually, those of other people that you're trying to support, that you don't think about your needs
Right.
first. And so
Yes.
thank God I booked that dance lesson, because I was hooked from the first foxtrot lesson with Pierre
Yes.
Dulaine. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I loved reading your book and hearing about all of the wonderful people that you had the opportunity to dance with. Can you tell us a few of your favorite teachers or partners?
Yes, I've had the good fortune to dance with several really fabulous teachers. And from Tony Scheppler, who was my smooth dance teacher, American Smooth. He and JT, God, I'm having a senior moment, were rising stars in American Smooth.
Yes.
And that was exciting. And I was also taking lessons from Emmanuel Pierre-Antoine, who is a up and coming American professional rhythm dancer. And he ultimately won the US National
Yes.
Professional American Rhythm title and the World Rhythm title and a lot of other titles. And he actually was the one who inspired my book, because he's a very inspirational person who for whom dance is more than just a physical thing. It really is a spiritual act, and when he is dancing, it's an act of meditation for him. I mean, he's fully present, mind, body, and spirit. And in fact, he was the one who taught me that in order to dance well, you must be fully present in all realms. It's not just a physical thing. You must be fully present, mind, body, and spirit, and dancing full out and fearlessly in every present moment. And if you can do that, that is going to be the best way to do your best dancing, right?
Yes.
Because, and I know that I wasn't dancing that way, because like most of us learning how to dance, we're always worried about the misstep we just made, right? So we're not fully present, we're stuck in that misstep we just made. And of course, if that's the case, then it's going to negatively affect our present step, which will then negatively impact our future step, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And if we're worried about difficult choreography ahead, then we're not fully present either, right? And if we're not fully present, again, it's going to impact our future steps. So really the only safe place to be on the ballroom floor is fully present. And that was probably the biggest aha that I learned from dance. And I used to think that I was fully present, but I realized when I started dancing that I was really fully present in my mind and spirit, but not in my body. And you can't be only present in 2 out of 3 realms. It's got to be all 3.
Right.
But
especially
anyway,
on the dance
so
floor.
Emmanuel was another great teacher. Yeah, yeah. And I took some lessons with, oh God, Tomas Milnicki, who is a really great teacher. And he and JT, of course, were US American professional smooth champions for a number of years. So, I guess living in New York, you do have the opportunity to
Yes.
dance with so many great teachers who are not only great teachers, but great human beings, right?
So fabulous. I know as I'm reading your book, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so jealous of all these wonderful opportunities.
Come to New York and take lessons. People do that
Yes.
all the time.
Yes, yes. Do you have a specific dance memory that stands out as something that just really is a favorite memory? Or I'm sure there are many, but
Um, well, one of the funniest memories I had, which also taught me another lesson, because I used to think that dancing was about achieving perfection, right? I mean, we practice our routines so much in the studio before we compete, and we're hoping to be perfect when we compete. And of course, that never happens, right?
no.
And so I realized when one of my early competitions, I was competing with, and I can't remember what competition it was, but it was in a mambo heat. Mambo was my worst dance back then because I was always confusing to me, and I was terrified about. I couldn't find the beat, and I couldn't. It was just
Yes.
so much going on, and so I danced in a heat, and I made so many mistakes. I was upset with myself, and so I was bitching and moaning to my teacher. At that time, it was Tony Scheppler, that I made so many mistakes. I know I'm not even going to place. I mean, it was just so bad. It was a train wreck. Blah 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 blah. And I even said to him, I don't want to go to the award ceremony because I know that I didn't place. And he said, no, you have to go, and let's just see what happens.
Right.
And so we go to the award ceremony, and I win first place in that heat. And you would think I would have been delighted, right? I was annoyed because did those judges not see all those mistakes I made? I said to Tony, I want to give that placement back because I don't deserve that. I made so many mistakes. And he burst out laughing, and he said, you don't win because you demonstrated the character of the dance. You danced full out and fearlessly, and you had fun. That's what they're judging you on. Because,
Yes.
I was in bronze. It
Yes.
wasn't like I
Yes.
was, at the top levels.
Yes.
And I said, oh, really? I was so surprised that that's what I was being judged on, because I thought I was being judged on not making mistakes. So, of course, in taking that lesson off the ballroom floor and into the rest of my life, I started really easing up about the need for perfection. In fact, one of my colleagues said, yeah, perfection is overrated. And it really is, because that should never be the goal. And in fact, Emmanuel, my teacher, once said that perfection is a direction, it's not a destination. Yeah, so that lesson about perfection not being a destination, but a direction, really was something that I took off and beyond the dance floor and into my personal life and in business. So I really relaxed about the need for perfection, especially if we never achieve it. But as long as we head in that direction, we're good. And so it was something that gave relief to me and to everybody else working with me, right? If people no longer had to worry that they had to be
Yes.
perfect, that's a kind of a ridiculous goal to achieve. But thank God that Emmanuel set me straight on on that regard, that perfection is a direction,
Yes.
not a destination. I can't tell you how many times I've quoted him on that.
I really
true.
appreciated all of the lessons in your book, that the lessons that you learned from ballroom dancing and how each of those things applied to different aspects of your life, and just the story of your business and how it affected that. And then even your personal life. Funny story, this past weekend, I danced in a competition, and it was my first time to do ballroom with a new teacher. And we had entered several other dances, and believe it or not, Mambo was kind of like the add-on at the very end. Like, we're doing all the rest of the styles. Let's just go ahead. It'll just be lead follow. And there was one heat round where I danced with him, and we danced all the other dances. And we only had one other competitor in this specific heat, and I got second place in all but the Mambo. And the Mambo was the one that was like the lead follow. And, you know, we didn't really have like a routine for it. So like you said, I just kind of jumped in, had fun, relaxed, you know, just tried to do what I was supposed to do and follow him. And we got first in Mambo, of course.
Yes. That's great. Then you really did feel like you were dancing, right? And the judges did that as well.
Right.
Fact,
right. Yeah.
I was so bad in my Mambo that I kind of did what you did, is that I told Emmanuel, well, I like when we do the Mambo in the studio because, you know, we practice by me just following you. And so it's so much fun, and I'm not stressed because I'm not trying to adhere to any routine. I'm just following you, right? So I said, let's do that when we compete, because there'll be one less thing for me to have to worry about. And he said, okay, you know, most people when you're competing, you know, you have a routine, but it's like, you know, he was game for anything. So yeah, me too. I won that heat and that championship too. It's like shocking. And so it's like, I don't want to have routines for any of my dances.
But I think it's so true that we do, like you said earlier, you get so caught up on what's coming next. And then if you mess that up, then you're so busy worried about that you're not enjoying the moment and paying attention. And all the lessons that we learn, if we can learn to really apply them to the rest of our lives, it would be very beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why we dance. We learn so much that we can apply to other areas of our life.
I really appreciate too, and love what you said earlier today, but then also in your book, that part of the reason that you wrote the book is because of the lessons and the joy that you learned, that you felt like you needed and wanted to share that. And so as a reader, I appreciate that. Thank you for the encouragement that you have passed on through your book. And I've gotten some great feedback from the people who have gotten your book in our box, and they've really enjoyed that and been encouraged to continue to choose joy, to spread that joy, and, you know, to share the lessons that they're learning with other people. So I think that your mission in writing the book has been successful. I want to know a little bit, kind of shifting gears, because I know this is something that you're very passionate about, and something that we have been excited to support just a tiny bit this past fall. But tell me about dancing classrooms and what your part is in dancing classrooms.
Yes, no, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about this amazing program. And if anyone's seen the documentary Mad Hot Ballroom, it's one of the most popular documentaries of all time. And in fact, I think it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime right now. So watch it if you love ballroom dancing, which I assume you do if you're watching this Zoom cast. But that our nonprofit Dancing Classrooms, which actually uses the vehicle of social dance, of ballroom dance, to unleash social, emotional, and cognitive learning in children. So we execute this program in schools. And during the pandemic, actually, we actually delivered this program virtually, which is, not without its challenges. But now that kids are back in school, we have several models. It could be fully in school, or it could be virtual, or it could be a hybrid of virtual and in school. But children in our 10-week long program really learn how to make connection, how to be compassionate, and how to collaborate with another student, right, in close partnership. All of the soft skills that children actually really need to learn in order to succeed, right, in life. So this program at one time was in 200 public schools in New York City, in elementary and secondary, or elementary and middle school. And we have about 15 sites around the country teaching our program. It's a wonderful program, and the children emerge from, the 10-week long program kind of more confident and more, understanding that by learning things, it will actually help them to build their ability to learn even more. So it's a wonderful program, and I hope the viewers of this will check out dancingclassrooms.org and learn more about our program, maybe support the work that we're doing to keep children dancing, pandemic or no pandemic. It's, such a transformative experience for children to learn how to dance. I mean, as adults, we understand how life transforming learning how to dance is, right? Multiply that by 10 to a young child who really doesn't know how to direct their energy, how to partner with other children. And it really is a transformative experience for them in the most positive way.
Absolutely. I love it. I have been following Dancing Classrooms for a while. And so then when I kind of dug in, and something that we like to do with the Ballroom Box is give back to the dancing community, because we really feel that dance is about connection and about community. And so we have been looking for a way to give back, and not only through like educating people on how to use the things that we need for ballroom dancing, but also like including your book in our box. But also we just want to be able to give back to nonprofits who are teaching and who are growing and encouraging the dance community, but more because of that transformation that happens in our lives, right? Like we do enjoy seeing that happen in other people's lives. And I know during the pandemic, my daughters actually began ballroom dancing, and it has been so beneficial. Their confidence, they're walking with their shoulders higher. They are just really, really enjoying it. And I would give anything for them to have dancing classrooms here in Nashville. They do participate in cotillion, so that it is a tiny little bit where they learn to waltz and swing and foxtrot just a little. But it is such an important thing to learn how to talk to people, how to be in connection with somebody. And so I love what Dancing Classrooms is doing. And then I thought that it was the perfect timing when we included your book that we were able to give just a little tiny bit to Dancing Classrooms this past fall, just to support maybe one student for some lessons, so that, and since I think you're on the board maybe with Dancing Classrooms, so that was just kind of a fun connection.
Yes,
all came together. Yes. So thank you so much for all the work that you are doing with Dancing Classrooms, and all the work that you have done to promote ballroom dancing. Are you getting an opportunity to dance very much right now?
Well, actually, I haven't been dancing for a couple of years just because I got involved in some other things. But my teacher, my former teacher, Emmanuel Pierre-Antoine, just opened a studio in Manhattan, and it's the biggest ballroom studio in Manhattan. And they're doing a soft opening next Tuesday night. So I probably will. I already told him I might start taking lessons again in the new year because it's great exercise. And,
Yes.
you know, once you've danced, of course, you always love and miss dancing if you're not doing it right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that you'll be back on the dance floor, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It brings
Yes.
me so much joy. And, you know, that's what my, you know, still living my purpose and choosing joy. And that's definitely one of my joyful choices.
Yay. Good. Okay, so one last question. We sent you
Okay.
a sample of our fall box that had your book in it. What did you think? Do you like the idea of a gift subscription box for ballroom dancers to equip and inspire?
I love it as a gift for ballroom dancers, and even for a ballroom dancer to purchase it for himself or herself, because if you love ballroom dancing, there are always things in it that you can use at competition, you know, at
Yes.
practice. And no, I love some of the things that you had in your box, including a charger, a portable charger for my iPhone, which whenever I've bought them, they always seem to be missing a part that makes it usable. But I don't know what
Yes.
you did, but you put it together. So it's like, oh my God, this is fabulous. So many other things that I loved in your box. So no, I think it's a great idea. Great gift, holiday gift idea, right?
Yes.
For the dancer in your life.
I
Yes,
know our
yes.
holiday box. You can see this is our little holiday box. It's actually printed like a
Ah,
gift on the front this
oh
time.
yeah.
It's so cute. I'm so excited. I feel like Santa. I've been packing boxes, and we have a women's box, a premium size women's box, and the theme is pampered head to toe, and it has a little bling and lots of good pampering things. And then we also have a men's box for the holiday season. So we only do the men's box
Ah,
at Christmas. The rest of the year, the box is mostly focused on women products for women or resources for women. But the Christmas season, we
mhm.
have a men's box. So it's been super fun. And a lot of people are buying for their teachers and dance partners. So I do feel like
Yeah,
my little elf shop here that I get to pack up
yeah.
all these fun gifts.
And I like that you have the ribbon already imprinted, so you don't even need to gift wrap it, right? I mean,
Yeah, I know, right? And
the
it's a little bit
present.
smaller. Isn't it so cute?
It is adorable.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
everyone buy a Ballroom Box subscription for the dancer in your life.
Yes, I love it. Everyone buy a Ballroom Box subscription. Thank you.
Yes, because we want to support Duffy's business so she can continue to support nonprofits like Dancing
Yes.
Classroom,
Yes,
with
exactly. And it's so
which are
fun that together we can do more, right? We can support each other more and more
yes,
the more we work together. So, yes.
exactly,
Patrice,
exactly.
thank you so much for your time today. I know we've had some technical
Oh,
issues and all kinds of things, but your smile is contagious, and I just really appreciate your time.
well, thank you for your perseverance. You know, you made it work, and we got together and we did it, despite all the
Yay!
distractions of the holiday season.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Duffy, and thank you for, you know, all the ways that you're trying to support ballroom dancing.
yes. Thank you.